All right, and we're back after some technical difficulties trying to get this race restarted, but we are back. Everything is good to go. And we have a nice low race on as Azure and Tails make contact at the end of the at the end of the formation lap.
At least they waited to the end to sit on the grid.
Here we go. Lining up
That's
now.
cool.
Obviously,
Last
Tails.
couple cars coming around.
Sorry, Canadian, Carney, Gelfie, and LeJon Bames. Our top four. Two Alpha Towers, two Alpines. They're starting diagonal from each other. Might be an interesting start for the top four here. Wait for the green lights.
Yeah, TC is going to be looking for a good start here to get himself back into contention here, as we already have a yellow flag. Hopefully there's nothing, not a glitch. Lights are starting to tick. Revs are rising. The lights are down, and away we go. Kind of a slow start for Canadian. TC gets a great jump. And the other Alpine's right behind Canadian too. Is he going to dip down to the inside as well? No, Canadian's
trying to hang it on the outside, but TC trying to defend. Canadian's going to have the inside line for turn 2. Who's going to be able to get the
Canadian good drive.
They're still side by side. And I think Canadian's going to get the start.
The lead there.
He does.
Wow, a good drive there from him to able to get back.
Already a 5-second penalty
in the back.
Everybody seeming to make it through okay in the top 10, though. Tails already up ahead of his teammate David Chahoud into P10 and P11 for them. J-Mick up to P7.
Yeah, already making up some places back there.
Look at this.
Gustavo as well.
Yeah, I was about to say the two Red Bulls now P5 and P6, and they're all still very close. Here comes TC, possibly trying to make a move. He decides better of it, but he is right on the gearbox.
Just letting Canadian know that he is there. Has a little bit of contact in the back, but everybody keeps going. That's another 5-second penalty. Yeah, that was kind of weird. 2 5-second penalties in a row, as Bio was not even near him. He's all the way in the back.
Oh, look at this. I see the Alfa Romeo's going. Look at this, the weaving.
Yeah, blocking the slip as much as he can. TC is trying to stay on the back. But Canadian able to keep the lead there, able to block it just enough.
Yeah, we've got a big fight for P4 and 5 too. Blood Gustavo almost going down the inside of LeJon Bames, but thinking better of it. Whoa, the Red Bull going straight on there. And the Mercedes.
A couple guys, yeah, using all of the track to their advantage.
And TC probably just maybe just thinking about that start. And if he could, and what could have been, because he had the better jump, that's for sure. He's obviously starting about 7-8 meters depending on the track behind Canadian. He was already up beside him before the breaking point, and he was ahead of him, but Canadian just able to stick it side by side. And
yeah, I'm not sure how he held the traction on the outside like that, and then back obviously to the inside, but
now, just
that weird turn 1 though kind of wants to kind of sling you out further and further. But
this is something kind of typical of Canadian that I've started to notice. He loves to push. He doesn't use any ERS in lap 1. He pushes like hell in lap 2 to get you out of the DRS, and that's what he's doing. But TC's doing a really good job of sticking inside that just enough. And yeah, he's catching up in certain sectors, it looks like, because he just gained about 3/10 there on Canadian, but loses some of it back on the exit going into the long straight. So maybe a sign of the different setups here that we've got at play as well.
Yeah, he's hanging roughly about 6.
This is the lap. This is the most important lap. If Gelfie needs to push to be able to stay in this DRS of his teammate, otherwise these two are going to get away from the rest of the pack. Maybe they're in a party chat. Maybe Gelfie asking him to just slow down a tiny bit. And here comes LeJon Bames on. No, not close enough on Gelfie.
Not close enough, but he is right there though, pretty close.
Yeah, still when the DRS kicks in, he might be in danger. But look, Gelfie back in the DRS of the 2 leaders. But how long will that last? Will he be able to stay there until the long back straight, where that DRS will gain you heaps of time versus the people that do not have it?
Yeah, both Red Bulls doing good right now.
Yeah,
J-Mick right behind them.
J-Mick doing a good job of just sticking behind him, being patient, not forcing anything, but he is going to be in the DRS, so maybe looking to just wait for a mistake from one of the two Red Bulls, but both of them obviously driving really well right now. Same with
TC almost falls out of the detection zone. Let's see, is he gonna? Okay, no, he gets 2/10 back.
You see, that braking zone going into the banking, he gains a lot of time in that braking zone, but he seems to just lose about a 1/10 or so almost every exit. So maybe he needs to just cool it a little bit in that braking zone, because it seems like he's going very, very fast in, but he's not getting the exit that maybe he wants. But he is still in the DRS. He will gain back some time, and he'll have another DRS section.
As you mentioned how strong it is, he was almost 9/10 of a second back, brought it right back down.
Yeah, but obviously so consistent.
Oh, it's the other Alpine, LeBron Brains getting a little squirrely out of the final turn.
So Gelfie's completely fallen out. I think they were battling at some point in the lap, because they have fallen back quite a bit.
I'm not sure what car that was, but there was one car just got out of the way there.
I saw that too.
Yeah, an Aston Martin. It could have been Krustier T. I believe he had just went one lap down, so I believe it was Krustier T moving out the way. Oh, it's a battle going Tails. I think Tails just went around Not Sir Vapor there.
Yeah, he is now ahead. He's up 4 spots. David still in P11. It looks like Thunder actually just got past David.
Yeah, they were 3 wide there for a second, almost.
Yeah, David choosing to start on the hards, actually. We didn't notice that, or I don't think we mentioned that. So David's going to be going very, very deep into this race, and obviously planning to put on softs at the end of the race. Be a very, very, very quick boy at the end of this race, because, yeah, those softs at the end will have a huge advantage on those hard runners that will most likely pit sometime in the next probably. Oh, the Mercedes is going around!
Oh, no.
That's not Sir Vapor on the banking.
Oh, TC's going to dip to the outside here. Is it? Okay, no, Canadian weaves back over and retains the lead there.
Oh, look at this, though. LeJon Brames. LeJon Brames has got the move done on Gelfie. But he's obviously not going to have the DRS. Or does he? No, he does not. So let's see if Gelfie can get this move back, or get this position back. No, he's not able to. But he's right on the back of LeJon Brames.
Yeah, he's right on the back there.
And so is Hayam KK, and Blood Gustavo not that far behind. So if the battling continues, he might be able to get on the back of this pack along with J-Mick as well. And that would also bring Tails into the fold. These boys are still pretty damn close, where one mistake or a couple corners of battling can lose you so much time and just bring everybody back into the fold with DRS, because there's just small DRS trains kind of manifesting all over the track, groups of 2, 3 cars, and one mistake. It looks like Tails is kind of the only one in no man's land, where nobody's in his DRS, and he's now finally pulling into the DRS of J-Mick. But he's also starting on hards, of course, so he's in a fantastic position right now.
TC goes real deep there. They are super close right here at the front.
Yeah,
and you mentioned how
strong. Get a good exit here. I think he might have him.
You mentioned how strong it is. He was 7/10 of a second back at the beginning of the last one, I believe, and he almost got around the outside going into
TC.
it. And here he goes.
It's going to be tight. We'll see if he can
Canadian. Get there. This is almost identical to last time.
Have to go around the outside. Canadian defends well. Slight tap.
Slight contact there.
Groovy picks up a 3-second penalty.
Picks up a penalty, and there is a yellow flag.
Yeah, I think it's a Ferrari or an Alpha. Yeah, it's Bio. It was Bio that caused that yellow flag. Or sorry, Routine that caused that yellow flag. But he seems to have it running back again. I think a lot of people struggling with that banker, but look at this, man. LeJon Brames actually catching up to the leaders right now at a pretty quick rate. He's only 1.2 seconds behind. He's already almost gotten Gelfie out of the 1 second gap he needs. But look at this. I think there's been a mistake.
Oh, and here comes Gelfie back. Trying
he had to have made a big mistake there. Gelfie goes to the outside, to the inside.
What a move there! Can he make it stick? No, has to get off throttle.
Able to get the traction down quick enough. LeJon Brames keeps the position. LeJon Brames had a 9/10 gap. He must have made some sort of big mistake there, because Yeah, 1.3 seconds to the leaders, and now obviously 2.2. So that whatever mistake he just made in that battling that
Very
ensued just
costly.
made them lose a lot of time.
Yeah, because you had just mentioned he was already out of the DRS from Gelfi, but now Gelfi is under pressure from High MKK, and the Red Bulls looking super racy on themselves.
Yes, he is. Hayam KK having a great race so far. We're on lap 6 right now of the Chinese Grand Prix in ROR. It's
TC's
round
gonna
18,
dip around again.
and we've got a battle for the championship going on right now between Total Carney, Canadian Necktie, Tails BR, and David Shahood, and also Groovy Javi, all in contention for a championship.
A lot closer this time on the front stretch than he's been in the last couple laps, and he's gonna dip around the outside here. Weaves back and forth.
Can he
make it around?
He does get it
and
done.
He does.
Canadian not gonna be able to defend on this one. Maybe he wasn't really trying to. Maybe wanting to get the DRS for the long straight so he doesn't have to waste as much ERS as Canadian gets very squirrely. He makes a mistake going out of the turn 3. And yeah, almost probably, maybe got a warning there. He almost gets 4 wheels off track, because I just had rain start to glitch onto my screen. And in previous times, that's meant rain. And I think it does mean rain for the boys.
It looks kind of cloudy out there
I think
at the moment.
I think it's currently raining here, and this might change. Because there's something weird going off the front of the halo of Canadian Necktie. You can almost see water streaming, but I can't necessarily see the drops yet. But I think that is rain coming down on lap 7. That's really early.
Yeah, that's going to throw quite a curveball into a lot of these boys.
They're starting to slide around.
Yeah, it's definitely looking very hazy out there. If it's not raining yet, it should be raining probably shortly. It's not going to.
Oh, here comes Canadian again. Canadian's going to get by. No, they're side by side, but Canadian has the inside line. And yes, Canadian does get by TC. So another lead change.
Deja vu every time. TC is taking that outside line every single time through there. Has not defended the inside or tried to take the inside line in there.
So some of these guys starting on hards, I kind of just got screwed over here because, yeah, Blood Gustavo's going to be the first to go into the pits. He says, I've had enough of this already. Get me on some
I do see the sprinkles. I've seen the sprinkles now.
It's starting to come down here, and the boys are going to be switching anytime, any lap.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, in moments, yeah, Gelfi having a moment there. Yeah, like you mentioned, a lot of the boys are starting to get quite squirrely out there.
I think DRS is still enabled. I'm not completely sure.
I believe it is, yes. I still believe it is. So this could be quite interesting here.
Yeah, who was the most prepared for this? This might be...
TC still in striking range. A Canadian here coming around into the final banker here. Falling back just a tiny bit. But obviously the slip and the DRS are super strong though. See if he's able. I don't know why it's giving me a rear wing view.
No DRS now. Oh, yeah, no, still.
Yep.
DRS is still enabled. Here comes TC again on
Oh,
Canadian.
and he's gonna think about going the inside.
No, I think he's
sell the dummy.
He goes on the outside. He might be sliding a little bit on the curb. But Canadian able to defend that position as there's been a VSC. And
yeah,
look at this. TC goes into the pits, but the AlphaTauris stay out. So Total Carney, Gelfi's going to end up double stacking here. He needs to slow down as much as he possibly can, and he does. The Red Bull almost hitting into the back of him. We'll see if this affects the time for Gelfi. I think it will.
It will. It will. He's going to have to... Oh, well, no, look at that!
It wasn't too slow. It wasn't too slow. He lost a tiny bit of time, but it actually wasn't that bad. He's going to lose the position to KK.
I was expecting it to be a lot worse than that, though. Yeah. I honestly thought he was going to lose a lot.
They did fix double stacking. That's the first time I've really seen it in action, but I think they fixed it about a week or two ago with that update. But these guys now have to end the VSC. So Total Carney only loses 2 positions, and that's to David and Tails, who are both still on hards. And this is going to get interesting here. How long is this rain planning to come down? It's not that cloudy. It still looks a little bit blue out here. But how long is this rain going to come down? Will
Yeah,
this...
so Canadian and LeBron Brains are feeling confident enough in these softs, though. Is that the right call, though? To stay out. Well, now DRS, it just said DRS is enabled again now, so... Oh, and LeBron James gets squirrely as it goes back green, and Canadian gets a good launch. He's already almost 2.5 seconds out.
He's got a very good launch, and obviously it's going to be interesting to see the delta between TC and David. We'll see if these intermediates start to come alive, or if the softs or if the dry tires are still able to put in some work. We'll see if, yeah, like I said, that it's about 12 seconds right now, 13 actually, between David and TC. So yeah, we will see. Like I said, LeJon Brames and Canadian Necktie still out on the softs. Tails and David still out on the hards.
Another yellow flag. Sector 3, but I don't see... Okay, no, it's a Mercedes.
Hewlett this time.
And he comes back on track in a... Oh, and a little bit of a battle here between Groovy and Thunder here. Groovy's... Is he going to dip back to the inside? No, I think Thunder is going to hold the position. And a nice move there in defense by Thunder and the McLaren.
Yeah, so Thunder's still out on those mediums. I'm just gonna pull up the tires because...
And he's got DRS. He's going around Tito. It looks like, yeah, he goes around.
Thunder making up 2 positions in just a couple in a short period of time, and he's on the medium. So, I mean, he's out here
closing,
outpacing. And look at this.
Vapor.
He's about to try to go for Vapor now.
Yeah, Vapor is on the intermediate, so they're not working.
Might not be the move.
Did you see how Vapor looked very slow through them couple corners? They're not able to
and I think it's drying up. I think it's going to dry up. Well, it's still raining, but it's not raining hard at all, and there's still DRS. Usually the sign that rain is it's time to switch tires is the DRS turning off, and I think it maybe did for a lap or two. And then it came back, yeah. But we had the VSC, so I don't know if that had something to do with the DRS. I don't know. That was kind of just a weird situation there, as I think.
Well, I've been watching.
Sorry.
Or go ahead.
No, I just.
Well, I've been watching. Oh, and as soon as I say that, Thunder has a moment, but it was more of him hitting the curbs, though. But I've been watching on board with a lot of these soft runners, medium and soft tires, and I mean they're getting a little squirrely, but I feel like they're just kind of hovering the throttle a little bit.
Look
just
at this
not
gap between TC and David. It's grown from 13 seconds to 25.
Yeah.
So
the soft tires are still getting it done. You just gotta almost be a little cautious. From what I've noticed, the boys are just kind of hovering the throttle, not pushing it all the way, and they're not getting too loose, able to get the traction down.
Right, and the 2 Alpha Tauri
just slimy
really
enough.
Good right now. They've got a nice gap over the 2 Alpha Tauris, the 2 Alfa Romeos, and they've also got a very nice gap over the Alpine. So unless we see a safety car,
and
everybody in the top 4 has a pit stop advantage at this point.
Yeah, so the going to the intermediates was not the best decision right now. Probably kind of a tough one to know how much rain was coming and whatnot, but obviously a lot of the boys deciding to hang it out, and it's working out good for him right now.
Yeah, and look at this. LeJon Brames is closing in on his teammate, Canadian Necktie. He almost got into the DRS range.
Yeah, look at that.
Hewlett has retired. Is this going to cause a safety car? But no, I don't think. I think he's retiring inside of the pits. So I don't think that will bring out a safety car. Let's see. Yeah, LeJon Brames about a half second behind Canadian.
Yeah, he is right there. Close that gap down. And, he is coming in a hurry now, it looks like. Yeah, so obviously Canadian's struggling a little bit more. Oh, Canadian's rear end.
The closest battles are between the 2 teammates, really, up top in the top 4. The 2 Alpha Tauris battling away, and now obviously the 2 Alfa Romeos also very close to each other. David right on the back of Tails.
Canadian! He's off the track!
Oh, Canadians
He
just had a
swerves
moment.
and goes off the track.
LeJon Brames is taking the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix in his debut race. And he's having a moment. He's going around. No, that's Canadian again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Canadian goes around again, and now he's getting overtaken by 2. Can he get back on track safely here? He's got a little bit of a gap.
And here comes Gelfie. Gelfie's going to try. No, he's not going to be near close enough.
Yeah, so Tails and David, look at this. They are back up into P2, P3.
Yeah, this has just swung the way of the Alfa Romeos. The momentum has swung, and some guys, they're going back into the pits to put on dries.
Wow, so this is weird. So,
This is weird because, yeah, we just saw Canadian spin.
Yeah.
But the intermediates aren't fast.
Yeah.
And it looks to be coming down harder now. It looks to be coming. This is a mind freak right now. It looks like it's coming
I'm not
down
sure.
way
And here
harder.
the leader's going into the pits. LeBron Brains is going into the pits now. What kind of tires is he gonna throw on?
Yeah, so Tails and David are going to take the provisional P1 and P2 in this race. What more could possibly happen right now? Canadian is absolutely at a snail pace. And it's coming down hard. It looks like it's coming down very hard. Canadian's going into the pits now. So the guys that just put on mediums, Total Carney, High Up KK, J Mick,
Oh,
Sleepy
Canadian has
half the grid.
a puncture. Canadian has a left front puncture there.
Oh, he
His
does.
tire is deflated.
He does. He did have a. Yes, I got on board with him. He did have a front left puncture. Wow.
Yeah, so the hard runners, though, I mean, Tails and David seem to be riding just, well, as soon as I say that, Tails has a little bit of a moment, but...
Oh, here comes Gelfie, and his intermediates are going to be freshly warmed up, and he's going to be battling with Canadian off of the pit exit. But yeah, it looks like it's coming down way harder now. So I'm just... all the guys that literally are on 0 lap old mediums are surely going to have to go in again. Azure picks up.
Yeah, I would believe so.
They've already made.
I mean, but
stops.
This is kind of weird though. Oh, big moment here. David thinks about going for it on his teammate Tails, but backs out of it though. Oh, and Tails gets squirrely. So a nice little battle here between the leaders too.
No, Tails goes into the pits.
Oh, Tails dips into the pits.
David stays out. And this is going to be, I think, down to who can make the least amount of stops.
So what does Tails throw? Or he hasn't stopped yet. What is he gonna throw on
The
here?
Intermediates.
Okay, so maybe they didn't want to double stack, but
Here comes LeJon Brames. Is he going to take the lead here? It's going to be close coming out the pit exit. And here he's right on the back of Tails.
Yeah, Tails' tires are not heated up just quite yet.
There's a yellow
It's
flag.
another yellow flag. It's a McLaren
That's J-Mick.
of J-Mick off the side of the track. And he don't believe he has a wing. I could be wrong, I can't see just yet. Yeah, so Tails still out in front of LeBron Brains right there, but they're super close. Coming through, is David gonna pit this lap? Yeah, he's got 23 seconds to his teammate back there, so is that enough time to make a pit stop and retain the lead?
LeJon Brames is still all over the back of Tails. Oh, they're just about 4/10 from each other. They're very, very tight. There's obviously no DRS. Tails is spinning.
Oh, and Tails goes around.
No touch. It was just the banker has just caught him off guard, and the Mercedes has DNF'd in the pits, I believe. So that's just lost Tails a lot of time.
Both Mercedes are out.
But still, Canadian
that
is
was
pretty far back after his couple of spins.
Yeah, he's gonna retain P3 still, but definitely gonna cost them though. 10 seconds to LeBron Brains now. So, and David is into the pits. Is he gonna keep the lead here?
I don't believe so. I don't think he will keep the lead. I think LeJon
Yeah,
Brains is going to easily...
gonna be close.
Oh, no, it's not as easy as I was thinking. David does keep the lead. And LeJon
It's
Brains...
almost identical to last lap.
Yeah, it's just...
But we've seen Tails' tires maybe not quite ready yet, though. Can David hold it?
Yeah, the field has just been spread out so much because of this rain and the pit stops. Nobody's really even close to each other. Azure and KK a little bit close to each other, but Azure looks like he's struggling quite a bit still out there on the medium. And yeah, he's going to go into the pits as well as KK going into the pits now. TC is still out there on the mediums. He's in P6 at the moment. Will he decide to go into the pits and go in for wet tires? Will we see another safety car? That is my question.
TC probably could be kicking himself for not hanging out maybe just a little bit longer.
Yeah, he was on those intermediates.
Yeah, David. But, well, this is weird because it's showing DRS open, and he does have it here.
Yeah, he does.
DRS just closed.
I think that's the weird part is that it's raining pretty hard, and it's obviously wet. But we're...
Oh, and now it's disabled as soon as we...
Interesting.
So it must be right on that fringe point of back and forth of just raining hard enough and maybe the track drying up a little bit.
So it's really probably just like greasy conditions right now. And as I ride on board, it kind of makes sense. It's not raining hard. The track is just wet enough to cause some issues. And David does make a little bit of a mistake in turn one. We'll see if LeJon Brames can capitalize without the DRS. He's driving very well, David.
Oh, and David has a moment. Gets it back on track, though. And LeBron trying to show his nose here and there, dipping back and forth, letting him know that he is back there. Maybe trying to force a mistake.
Yeah, LeBron Brames driving really well. Careful of the curbs there.
Yeah, that curb can be dangerous in the dry.
Even more so in the wet. As Total Carney decides to enter the pit lane to put on probably what is wet tires. And you just wonder what's going to happen here. What could happen here with this weather? Is it going to be like this the rest of the race, or is it going to possibly stop or see if anybody else is...
Yeah, it's weird. When you look at it from the helicam, it's raining sideways. But then when you go on board, it's raining. It's definitely raining, and the spray is starting to come up a little bit, but not really though.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. And yeah, we're seeing TC trying to battle here with Thunder, and he's gonna want to get this move done as quickly as possible. We've seen Thunder put in a pretty good shift here this race. Hold off the Alpine.
It is nice being able to ride on board and look back and stuff and not have to worry about looking forward.
Oh, that's completely right. I mean, it's so, yeah. We've both said it a couple times. I think we've just had enough. This might cause a safety car. The Red Bull of Blue Gustavo.
It's that Blue Gustavo. I can't see him yet, but I'm on board with a couple Ferraris that are coming around, though, towards him. Oh, no, he is in the gravel track. So is that far enough?
It's not going to be a safety car, it looks like. Looks like they're going to continue racing.
Michael, no safety car! No safety car, Michael!
No, Michael, no! Oh, man. So, LeJon Brames still attacking David Chahut, but David Chahut showing fantastic pace right now to stay in front of the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, we've
TC and
seen.
Thunder going side by side, but Thunder winning out on this occasion. Tito's just
Yeah, so TC have or my apologies, Thunder having a nice drive again.
yeah, no, he's back in the points column once again this race. We'll see if he's able to hold it there for the entirety of this race.
Yeah, these leaders, they've been
Well.
every time turn one. Oh, and they touch! And around he goes!
Oh!
He spins them! David is around!
Oh no! Oh no! So yeah, the AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo having contact, but somehow they really haven't been affected that bad. Like they still have a huge lead over everybody else. But David has lost out tremendously, obviously, to that.
Yeah, a little bit. I
didn't see
that's
the
kind of a
incident.
tough.
I
It was
switched
kind
on
of a
little
tough
late.
one, though, because David kind of had a little bit of a moment, and LeBron kind of just went for it and almost gave him the pit maneuver. But it was kind of an iffy one, though.
The gap was there, but maybe just
yeah,
not in
you have
the
to see
wet.
another replay of it, obviously. But at the moment, could be potentially just a racing incident, but. And then it's so unfortunate for David because he was just stuck there, and LeBron stopped.
Just kinda,
He couldn't move either. Had a block wall in front of him.
Right.
But like you mentioned, though, they were.
Thunder's had an off.
Oh no. Oh, and he gets out the way. They're so close to TC
Yeah,
there.
Thunder
I'm sure
having a
TC was.
moment. And that is another commentator curse coming to bite Thunder in the butt. Because we were just talking about it.
Man said not to mention him ever again, but
dude, damn it! I'm sorry, Thunder. I'm sorry. Oh no.
we're gonna break the curse, though, is what it is. So we're gonna break the curse one day.
I hope.
But like you mentioned, though, the leaders, they had such a gap. Like David still has over a 10-second gap to his teammate.
Right.
Even though obviously like you mentioned, it's
with
cost
both
them a lot.
Tails and Canadian having spins, and then Gelfie just having a pretty just tough first stint. He kind of fell back, and then yeah, it's just been a weird race so far. Even though Gelfie's only stopped one time, he's still just quite a ways back. So yeah, everybody in the top 6 has only pitted once. Everybody outside of the top 6 has pitted 3 times.
Yeah, it was that early call. A lot of guys went on intermediates, which I honestly don't blame them. I potentially could have been 1-2 to make that move once I seen the track starting to wetten up. Especially when you're towards the back or something, where you got to take a risk.
That's groovy.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's around there, but maybe he's back on the track now.
Yeah, Groovy's back and running now. Possibly going to give a little bit of a toe to the leader, LeJon Brams. Yeah, it does look like it.
Yeah, so Groovy having another one, just having a off race right now, running outside the points, which is uncustomary of him. And you see him just get out the way of the leaders there. Very smart move.
Oh, he's got to pick up a warning for that, though. He's just having a mare. And so that's when you kind of wish that F1 was a little bit more like GT, where I mean, you do need to get out the way, but it doesn't necessarily need to be right this second.
It's, yeah,
8 laps to go.
Yeah, because it does cost people sometimes. In real life, it's stuff, you know, when you're having a battle.
Oh, that's a yellow flag. Groovy's retired. Looks like in the pits, and Canadians picked up a 3-second penalty.
Oh, multiple warnings there.
But it might not really matter if we do not see another safety.
Now, I'm not sure what Ferrari that is, but it's okay, bio or routine, but one of them is right on the gearbox of Tails there. And feeling a little racy. but the leader, LeBron, still has a 2-second advantage over David, and his Tails falls back another 2 seconds. Now 12, almost 13 seconds.
Yeah, he's actually
to
battling with a back marker right now. Yeah, well, not battling, but he does have one right on him, and it looks like he might need to let him unlap himself because, yeah, the Ferrari, I think, of Bio, looking to have more pace than Tails.
Oh yeah, it is Bio.
Just a weird race. I don't think the guys are going to be too happy, as it was supposed to be dry, and then I think I forgot to turn off dynamic.
Mafia.
Mafia indeed.
Yeah, Bio definitely, my apologies, Routine, though. Or no, I think that is Bio. Okay, no, that is Bio on the tip. And he might make this move here.
I think at this point Tails actually does need to like let him unlap himself. Oh, they're getting close. Because I mean,
they've almost touched a couple times.
Kind of like I can't remember what track it was at, and I think he is gonna let the Ferrari maybe no he doesn't. Yeah, kind of like Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton did let Carlos unlap himself because Carlos just had the pace advantage over the Mercedes, but he was stuck behind him due to blue flags.
And you've seen that before, even like the famous Max and Esteban fight and stuff, you know, where sometimes it's not worth battling necessarily, but for all we know, I remember, if I remember correctly, I think the first time Tails was in the lead, we thought he was a back marker, and somehow he was actually in 5th place.
Right, that is true.
During the race. So, for all we know, this could be for position. No, right now.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. But yeah, 7
And I know it's done that to me in a race before in an unranked lobby where I said I know I finished 5th, but I ended up saying I finished 19th place.
Really, the only battle on track right now is J-Mick and TC. Because they're battling for 7th and 8th. Yeah, this is just a weird race. 7 laps to go, and yeah, we've seen a weird one today. We've seen a weird one today.
Yeah, definitely eventful, to say the least. Got 4 runners already DNF'd. Yeah, J-Mac just hanging right on the back of TC there.
It's still raining quite hard, but then, yeah, like you said earlier, you go on board, it's not that bad, but it's greasy out there.
Yeah, it's weird, because certain parts of the track, I see a spray from some of the cars, but then in other parts of the track, which obviously could be like that in real life, where other parts are wetter than some, but just some parts just seem a lot drier than others, but yeah, J-Mix super close here. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll find out soon if DRS is enabled or not. Oh, and J-Mix has a moment coming around the banker, though.
Yeah, so losing a little bit of time there, and without DRS, it's gonna you need to be very, very close onto the back of somebody to make that overtake. Even with this long straight and having the toe, doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, way too far back to make a move there. I don't even think Max could make that move from that far back.
No, if he did, that one would not end well. Yeah, 6 laps to go. LeJon Brame still in the lead after that clash with David Chahoud. Tails behind them. Canadian Necktie having a couple of spins midway through the race in P4. Gelfie in P5, Jor in P6, TC in P7, Jamick in P8, and Tito in P9, finishing out the top 10. I am KK. So it's been a weird, odd race. We've seen it go from dry to wet. Yeah,
it's definitely been an awkward one.
Not too many battles. This has definitely been probably the most lackluster race so far. I don't want to count anything out, but so far it's just been a little bit on the down end. think just some of those, the rain being so unexpected for these boys with the mistake that I made, definitely spread out the pack a lot more than I think we would have hoped.
Yeah, with 5 laps left, but anything could happen though. We've seen that before, and a late safety car potentially. Might have to talk to Michael real fast.
Yeah, J-Mix still just chilling behind TC. Not really much to do in this lap 23 battle. Just chilling behind him, losing a little bit of time. Looks like he's falling back, actually.
Yeah, just falling back ever so much. Just enough. We're not going to be able to make this move work. And I'm sure that early call to go on the intermediates for TC, like you mentioned though, the pit stops.
Look at this, the Ferraris
they're
are
almost
now
separated.
Bio's just gotten past routine.
So Bio gets past his teammate there. Obviously had to start at the rear with no qualifying.
Yeah, working his way up, and KK is not that far up the road. Only probably about, it doesn't tell us because they're one lap behind, but I think probably only about 5 seconds or so behind. KK here, so see if they can, Bio can maybe get into the points here.
Yeah, this gap has kind of stayed roughly the same the whole time. David's made a little bit of an impression on it, though, dropped it down to 1.7 now, actually. So maybe he has dropped it down a little bit. It was 2.3 for the last few laps. So maybe a tiny bit of a moment. I mean, David can see him up there. He's closing ever so slightly now, 1.6. And LeBron has a little bit of moment. He goes wide there.
Very easy corner to mess up that last corner.
So David's just trying to chip away a little bit at a time here, even though he's obviously running out of time with 3 laps left to go.
It might just be a little bit too little too late. Obviously the stewards might have something to say about their incident, but that is to be looked at afterwards. As of right now, the John Brames taking a win, possibly in his debut.
Yeah, David is just sending it in there.
He's pushing with everything he has right now.
Yeah, the track still looks pretty grimy out there. Even though it almost looks like the sun is coming out, though, to me. It looks like it's brightening up. But
like, it's still like blue skies for some areas. It's odd. We've got a yellow flag here. That's McLaren. Oh, that's Thunder. He's kept it on.
Yeah, I don't see no damage visually yet. And he keeps it rolling. He's got a car coming up behind him, though. And he's just going to... Yeah, so no flags. Or no safety cars or VSCs.
Yeah, I think it's too late for us to get one now. Even if there was a bad incident on track.
We'll clear the cars. We'll get a last lap in.
Pull a Stewart's moment real quick.
And I think that's Bio again. He is, and they're almost having a battle here as Canadian goes around the Red Bull there, and now they're battling. Bio optimistic there.
Yeah,
I think that was a blue flag. blue flag for Hayam KK on Canadian there, and Bio just shot in there, right in there behind. I don't even think the Red Bull seeing him coming, actually, the way he kind of just snuck in there a little bit.
That's so Bio taking a little bit of a lead here, actually. Well, P10, he's taking the final points position as the Red Bull and Routine still battling away. Routine momentarily ahead, but the Red Bull does decide to pull out. Routine gets the spot on Hi, I'm KK. It gets up to P11. And David about 1.1 seconds away now. 1.2.
So he has closed that gap. Yeah, just closing and closing and closing, but
no DRS.
Like you mentioned, though, is there enough time?
Look at this gaggle of cars that they're going to have to get past. Blue flags, blue flags. The ROR picks up a penalty.
Yeah, they're just oh man, they're gonna have to weave their way around.
Yeah, this is a little bit. Oh, Tails! David, I think is getting held up here by the Haas.
And LeBron was able to get around before that break.
Oh, he's gonna have to literally weave in between the two, and he's lost so much time. He lost about 8 tenths. That reminds me of Mick Schumacher. What track was that? I can't remember when he was just. He wouldn't get out the way, it felt like.
Oh, yeah,
It was very reminiscent. And yeah, David having to literally weave. The Haas was on the on his left, and the McLaren was on the right. The McLaren was on the racing line, which really he needed to be off the racing line. So, yeah, just chaos there. And that's definitely gonna, that's not gonna help
cost
David.
Him any chance, probably.
Got
really trying to fight.
Lap and a half left. We'll see if he can get back to Lejean Brames, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. Even if he does get to the back, it'll be very, very difficult to pass as he has another back marker.
Yeah, he has Crustier T now in between him.
And he has just not gotten lucky with the place that he's come up to these back markers. He almost gets right up to him in the middle of corners, and that just doesn't help at all.
Oh, he's gonna have, one more shot. He keeps closing the gap. Just, I definitely has more pace at the moment, but that definitely, them back markers definitely affected his chance here as he closes it back down to 1.3, 1.2. So it's gonna be close. How much pace does he have in store here? Is he gonna have a crazy banker?
He's got to get right up to the back of Lejean Brames by the time they get back to that straight. And here we go, last lap. He's within 1.1 seconds, and he's gonna absolutely have to send this lap. We'll see what Lejean Brames can possibly defend with if he needs to.
We've seen David be as Canadian picks up another 3-second penalty.
Again, not going to affect him. I think Gelfie's a solid 27 seconds behind.
But David seems to be super strong in the last 2 sectors, though, and the last probably handful of laps. He seems like he just gains quite a bit of time right there. So obviously, last lap, if he's going to do anything, he's going to have to save it up and do it there. Is he going to get close enough, though?
I think he's just
a little bit too far.
And if you think about, like, that time he lost with the back markers, you just think he might have been able to get this move done, actually. Had he not gotten unlucky with the back markers.
I believe so, too, because he almost fell back to 2 seconds again after that. And able to close it back down. Here we go down the final straight, though, and yeah, I think he's just going to be too far away, though, like you mentioned. He's not really picking up the strong enough slip here, and he's not going to be able to send it, though. All LeBron's going to have to do is just hold it on the track here to pick up a win in his debut. One more turn to go.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it, David. Not quite close enough. Lejean Brames picks up his debut win in ROR. David coming home in P2. We're gonna have to wait a little bit for the rest of the guys. And here comes Tails. And actually, Canadian was not far behind Tails. Only 2 seconds. I didn't realize. He did close in quite a bit, but an unlucky race for Canadian. He comes on P4. And Gelfie, P5 for him, as long as he obviously doesn't make a mistake going into the last 2 or 3 corners.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any battles here. Looks like J-Mick and Tito are having a little bit of a scrum here at the very end. And Tito might be close enough for this straightaway here. Obviously not seeing lap time like you mentioned, them being a lap down. Not giving us their telemetry right now, but...
So,
they're coming through. Final... Starting the final sector now.
Here comes ROR finishing out P6, and TC is going to end up finishing P7. Not what TC would have wanted from starting, I believe, P2. But with this weird race, who can happen? Well, what can you blame?
Oh, so are we not going to get to finish this race here, some of the boys?
Oh, no, yeah, they're being a lap down. And I guess, yeah, TC also ended up getting collected by Thunder at some point during that race. So P7, good for that recovery. LeJon Brames, like we said, picking up a win in his debut. That's pretty impressive. Alpha Tower is looking very solid moving forward through the rest of the championship. Maybe might be able to make up some position constructors, but we'll see. And yeah, we are now heading into a season break. We've got all the way until January 5th till our next race at Canada, I believe. Yes, Canada, January 5th.
Canada.
Have a happy Christmas to everybody that's been watching. Have a happy New Year's. Happy anything you celebrate. We'll see y'all later.